What's up YouTube, this is Dragon and this is another Pokemon Wi-Fi battle. So let's get to the battle at hand. Well, I'm gonna say that the Pokemon that I fear the most is probably it's between the superior, but then again it's really the that Pokemon that can Mega Evolve that was in the upper left hand corner. That's the Pokemon that I fear the most. And yeah, because that Pokemon can really do some damage to my team. And here it is, right here, already making its appearance. So luckily I have my Amoonguss on my team, which was my primary reason for doing so. Because I do want to put this Pokemon to sleep, because it could be a serious threat. So I'm immediately going to go for the Spore, because this Pokemon can't kill me in one hit, no matter what. So I'm also kind of predicting the Swords Dance to come out, and that could also be a huge problem, as you guys know. And it's Fire Fang. Alright, so that's not going to kill me. I'm not worried about that. And I rarely see that Pokemon use Fire Fang. Like, what the heck is that? Has anyone ever seen this Pokemon use Fire Fang? It's usually Iron Head, Play Rough, Swords Dance, and something else besides anything like Fire Fang. I've never seen that a day in my life. Nonetheless, I'm gonna have some nice regeneration, and I'm gonna switch over into my Slowbro, and now I'm gonna have a good. This is gonna be good for me because this Pokemon is asleep. A serious threat is asleep, and yeah, I have two regenerating Pokemon on this team. 2 regens, baby. Let's go. So now I'm gonna go for the Scald and the Mega Evolution, because this Pokemon has some terrible defenses, and of course my opponent withdraws, so that means somebody might just get burned, and it's gonna possibly be the Porygon2, and that sucks, special attack Rose. Alright, so this Pokemon might have Thunderbolt. I wouldn't be surprised if it did. And let's see, I really hope that this Skull burns. If the Skull burns, it's gonna be great. And it sucks. It really sucks. Okay, so now this is a bit of a predicament because, man, you know what? I have a bit of regret right now because this Pokemon, man, I don't really have any Pokemon that can really just do decent damage to it. So I'm gonna go send out my Amoonguss now, because I want to try to at least Sludge Bomb it. So I can get some damage on it. And if he uses Tri Attack, then that means that he doesn't have Thunderbolt, and I could... Okay, good. So he goes for the Tri Attack, which means that he doesn't have Thunderbolt, unless he predicted me to switch, which was good nonetheless. But, alright. So, he might have Ice Beam. He might have Ice Beam, which will still be a bit of a problem. But, I'm gonna go for... you know what? I have Toxic. I didn't even know I had Toxic on this Pokemon. I forgot. I've rarely used Amoonguss so much. But I'm gonna go for the Toxic and goes for the Tri Attack again. And of course he's gonna kill me, because Tri Attack is gonna, especially after a +1, that's definitely gonna kill the Amoonguss. This is not at all especially defensive Amoonguss. So you know what? Now that I know that this Pokemon has Tri Attack, No, I'm gonna go into my Slowbro now. I'm gonna go into my Slowbro, and I'm gonna start setting up Calm Minds. If my opponent by chance happens to have the superior, I'm gonna be a little bit upset, because then obviously I'm gonna have to switch back into my Crobat. But then if he does that, then I'll still have a bit of an advantage. I'll have a bit of an advantage because that's quad resistant, and he'll have to switch into his Porygon2 on the defensive, and then that might be a 2-hit KO, relatively speaking, within his range. So now I'm gonna go for the Calm Mind, and hopefully I can take... Oh, Shadow Ball. Ooh, that's not even cool, man. So that's not a crit at all whatsoever. Man, that's really bad. This is terrible. Okay, so, man, yeah, that Tri Attack was just a diversion for what was actually happening. Okay, yeah, this doesn't look like it's going good at all. This is actually terrible. I should have had Conkeldurr on this team. I really should have. Yeah, Conkeldurr would have definitely been a better Pokemon to pick. Because then I wouldn't be worrying about anything, really. Oh man. And if this Pokemon was burned, that also would have been great. So I'm gonna need Slowbro. Or, well, Slowbro is kind of done, so I really, yeah. Actually, no, I'm gonna go. Let's switch to my Crobat. And I know, like, most likely a Tri-Attack is coming because, you know, usually when the opponent has low health, they just go for the move that covers everybody, especially since it's stab. So the Tri-Attack, yeah. So I just hope I don't get burned or paralyzed or frozen or anything like that. And nothing. Alright, so now we're going to see. I mean, it's kind of ironically pointless for me to have Swish anyway because this is a bit redundant. So I'm going to go for Brave Bird and see how much that does. I mean, if I even kill myself with Brave Bird, then it would have definitely been redundant. And, ooh, 1. I have 1 left. Okay. Yeah, so this Porygon2, whenever there's a Porygon2 on someone else's team, always have Conkeldurr. 99% of the time I pick Conkeldurr, but because I have Amoonguss on my team, I decided not to. But also, what would have been a better thing for me to have done would have been to, ironically, sacrifice one of my Pokemon so that I can Toxic this Pokemon. That would have been a better choice. So now I'm going to go into my Slowbro, and unfortunately, he's just going to end my life because, I mean, look at this. There's nothing I can do in this situation. So, you know what? Side Shot. It doesn't matter. And let's try attack. Yeah, after that special attack boost, that really just like sealed my fate. Wow, Porygon2, man, really putting in that work with just an extra special attack boost. Makes me want to get a Porygon2. I see a ton of people with Porygon2s, so now I kind of understand what the big hoopla is all about. I'm about to get me a Porygon2 myself. So, we're going to have another battle again because why not? Right? Yes, continue battling and battle box. There we go. So yes, like Amoonguss was doing some serious damage on the battles yesterday. Like yesterday's battle was just ridiculous. Amoonguss was staying in on Charizards, sporing Charizards, killing Charizards. Who ever heard of an Amoonguss killing a Charizard? I've never heard of it, but I made sure that I made it happen because that was look. No one does that. No one does that. No one stays in on a freaking Charizard with a Amoonguss, but I did it anyway. And why does my opponent only have 5 Pokemon? Okay. So I'm going to print this screen real quick. And let's see. It looks like Rotom. Ooh, Rotom. Yeah, Rotom could definitely do damage on this team. Yeah, I might choose Rotom first. Or actually, yeah, I'm gonna choose Rotom first. Or nah, not Amoonguss. No. Amoonguss, that's stupid. I would like to choose Amoonguss, but I'm not going to. Because that makes no sense. So we'll go for Rotom, and let's see. Let's see, bro, and Conkeldurr for the Ferrothorn, and let's see, maybe Slowbro because of that Pokemon, and yeah, but then that Pokemon, Rotom, Conkeldurr, maybe Pokemon for that. Well, the best Pokemon I have for that is the Slowbro, ironically, but not really. So there we go, and that's that. Alright, so yeah, that Rotom Heat, that's the only Pokemon that could put a lot of variables in this whole battle, but hopefully that doesn't come out to be like a terrible thing for this team to deal with. So I'm gonna choose my Rotom first, and maybe my opponent might even choose their Rotom first. Yeah, there we go. Alright, Rotom versus Rotom. Let's see how this goes down. So most likely my opponent is going to go for the Volt Switch because it just makes all the sense in the world. And he might Volt Switch into, you know, the Ferrothorn, which is, you know, I'm cool with that. So I'm just going to go for the Hydro Pump just in case, because I do want to kill this Rotom. Then he goes for the Volt Switch. Alright, so now we're going to see if he's like Specs or anything. And that looks like Specs. Or like max special attack. That did a lot of damage. And let's see. He could go into the Gyarados. Nah, that would make no sense. Yeah, he goes into the Ferrothorn like I predicted. But I was really hungry to get that kill. But the reason why I stayed in is because I know I can easily just switch into my Conkeldurr from here, and it wouldn't really make a difference. So there we go. And my opponent might predict this and then switch again, but nonetheless, I wouldn't really feel too bad about it, because like if he decides to stay in and then go for the Power Whip, or if he decides to switch that and predict me and go into the Gyarados, like what's probably going to happen here, to go for the Intimidate, then I still... Oh no, he goes back to the Rotom. Okay. Okay, I have an idea of what's probably going to happen here now. So he's going to Volt Switch again, and then go into the Gyarados. Because he's definitely not going to Volt Switch and then go into his... He's not going to Volt Switch and then go back into the, what you call it? You know, the... Ferrothorn, because that makes no sense. So let's see. But I do have a Slowbro on my team. But then he could Mega Evolve, which would also be a problem. So you know what? I'm gonna Drain Punch, or actually I'm gonna Stone Edge. That would be that's the best play here, honestly. He goes for the Volt Switch. He probably has the Gyarados on his team. And there we go. That Assault Vest is definitely putting in that work. So let's see. Is it going to be the Gyarados? Let's see if it's the Gyarados. And it's the Gyarados. Alright. So Stone Edge was the best play. And the Intimidation is going to affect me a little bit. And I hit the Stone Edge, baby. That's what I'm talking about. Ooh, super effective damage, critical hit. Oh, man. Oh, that sucks for my opponent so hard. I know my opponent is pissed, because that was a crucial play right there. But I mean, I did predict that, and I probably could have finished him off with the Mach Punch from there, you know, because I mean, still, yeah, looks like my opponent might quit. Yeah, he's taking a minute to make a decision. Yeah, I mean, I won't necessarily say that crit like mattered, but it kind of didn't, you know, so there's that. Alright, so let's see. I do have a Slowbro on my team, and I'm gonna go for the Drain Punch. I'm gonna go for the Drain Punch right here because, like, I have enough power to not really worry too much about that. So let's see. Yes, this Pokemon is definitely extremely slow, and is it gonna be the Rocky Helmet and the Iron Barbs? We're about to find out. Has energy drained, Iron Barbs, and no Rocky Helmet. Alright. And I avoided the attack. My opponent was hugged by Bad Luck Brian. Tis, man. Tis. Like, that's just as bad as it can possibly get. That really is. So, I know the Power Whip is coming. Conkeldurr is pretty much my win condition. Because, you know, the Drain Punches and etc. So... You know what? I'm gonna go into my Slowbro because Slowbro has no real viability on this team. So, like, I could just use Slowbro as a means of, you know, switch initiative and etc. So, okay, my opponent withdraws. That makes it actually ironically. Oh, I don't know. Maybe I don't know what this is about, why my opponent decided to switch. I don't really understand that. But that's cool with me, because I'm going to go for the Mega Evolution and the Scald. So let's see where my opponent takes this, and most likely he might just go for the Thunderbolt to try to finish off my Slowbro immediately. And Yeah, no, he just goes for the Volt Switch. So he has a classic Volt Switch, which is cool. And that looks like that's definitely Choice Specs damage. That's Choice Specs, without a doubt. Because it is. It's Choice Specs damage. Like, I only have 32 health left, and like I should not have taken that much damage. It's Choice Specs. Alright, so that's a Scald coming from my Mega Slowbro. Will I get the burn? I will not get the burn. But I'm definitely going to go and Scald again. I think Slowbro should be faster, yeah. Because Ferrothorn is possibly one of the slowest Pokemon in existence. And that's a knockoff. Nope, I won't live that. Slowbro faints. Alright, but Slowbro definitely did his job. He did his job well. So now I'm gonna go into my Rotom. Because, you know, sure I could finish this off with Conkeldurr, but I'm gonna go into my Rotom because Rotom is Rotom. Rotom is cool. So I'm gonna Thunderbolt real quick. And that's definitely gonna finish off this Ferrothorn, and that's a threat down. Major threat down. I think one of the most critical plays that happened in this entire battle was between the predicted switch of when I predicted him to switch it to his Gyarados. That was one of the key plays of the entire battle here. Yeah, that was just like the win condition determining factor right there, like for real. So I'm gonna go for Hydro Pump, and hopefully I can score it, because I personally want to see how much a Hydro Pump can just do to a Rotom right off the bat. And there we go, I hit the Hydro Pump. So let's see how much it does. Will it kill? It won't kill. But that definitely shows me just how much a Hydro Pump will do on the minimal of circumstances towards another Rotom that most likely has some, well, no, it doesn't have any like special defenses or anything like that, because it's Choice Specs. So he's obviously going to Thunderbolt me from here, and that is definitely going to finish me off. So yeah, see, also this is why I went to my Rotom, because I didn't want to take any chances and, like, you know, have Conkeldurr get paralyzed or anything ridiculous. So now, like, I was able to just bam Thunderbolt that Pokemon, the Ferrothorn right there, and now I'm just gonna Mop Punch this Rotom Heat right here, as opposed to taking the chance and risking it and then, you know, getting paralyzed by Thunderbolt or something ridiculous, you know. And then on top of that, I wouldn't have had, I mean, if I also decided to stay in with my Conkeldurr initially, then I would have been intimidated, and that would have been less power. It wouldn't have made any sense. And yeah, so man, hey. Ah, man, that second battle was really cool. The first battle, because I didn't pick Conkeldurr, that's most likely why I lost. But nonetheless, no Johns. So it still was a good game, and I did lose because it was a mixture of Pokemon selection and just being generally outplayed. My opponent was really good in that first battle. I really liked my first opponent. The second one, kind of shocking because my opponent only had 5 Pokemon, which obviously just immediately puts my opponent at a disadvantage. But the Pokemon selection that my opponent had for the second team, that was absolutely top tier. That was perfectly countered my team, and it was like the Rotom was used as a pivot to like scare me into like trying to stay in or like trying to switch out. It was just a perfect pivotal Pokemon, able to put me in the most crushing of circumstances, but I still had the Stone Edge. I was still able to predict, and I still came out on top, baby. That's what I'm talking about. Well, my fellow Dragonites, I'm glad that you guys enjoyed these battles, and as you know, there will be many more battles like these in the future. Well, see you later.